British Columbia, I am honored to declare the Charles Jago Northern Sports Centre officially open. One of the people we're honoring today. Charles Jago is someone who was committed to UNBC, who drove UNBC from an infant university to a major university in the north, attracting people from all over the world, from all over the province with top quality education. And I want to say thanks to Charles for the exceptional work that you've done for us.
Just want to say I think that's characteristic of Charles, always in the background and yet deserving to be right up front, getting the credit that is due him.
Charles, any I've seen in my travels, as well as study at a first-class university, which has helped mold my future and the person that I am today. Today makes me extremely proud to be able to use.
Rayanne is one of 42 Prince George Youth Soccer Association players who have been picked to be part of our very first ever soccer academy in Prince George. She's off to China next week to coach the National Special Olympics rhythmic gymnastics team during the 2007 Special Olympics World.
They knew they needed about $30 million, but they didn't know how to make the argument, they didn't know who to go to. Well, Bill came up with a very creative strategy. He carried with him a Polaroid photograph, similar to the one that I have in my pocket. And everywhere that he went, he had this photo. The photo was of a young woman, a UNBC student, an athlete. And this young woman was practicing free throws over here in our conference center in a squash court where we nailed up a basketball hoop and converted it for our athletes to practice their free throws. And Bill carried that around and he showed it to people. And Premier, you'll remember when he showed it to you. And Bill said, we need a facility in the north because it's unacceptable for our young men and young women to be practicing free throws in a converted squash court. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a photograph of that squash court. The hoop is still there today. We're going to display that in the Canfor Plaza as you enter the facility to remind future generations of students what was here prior to this facility. And so for all of you young people, for all of our UNBC athletes, you no longer have to practice your free throws in the squash court. You're going to be in this magnificent facility, and in a not too distant future, you'll all be witness to our Timberwolves beating UBC right here in this building.